ethene reacts with hydrogen. Now, let me explain the structures of these compounds. Ethene, which has got a double bond between the carbon atoms shown by the blue balls, reacts with hydrogen. Hydrogen, you have two atoms. What is in between, that line in between, is a bond, a chemical bond, which we call the covalent bond. Now, under the arrow, we have 150, 150, 250. That one means the temperature required for this reaction to take place. Then Ni is a symbol of an element called nickel. It is one of the transition metals. As you can remember from senior 2, transition metals are catalysts. So it is catalyzing this reaction. To remind us, a catalyst is a substance that speeds up the rate of chemical reactions. Without it, the reaction will be very, very slow. So when nickel catalyzes this reaction, ethene will be converted to ethane. Let's play it small. Let us emphasize on this. Do we see that the bond between the hydrogen atoms is no longer there? It has broken. Now, when it breaks, the hydrogen atoms are now free to go and join the structure of ethene. So, slightly played, we were playing it slowly. Yes, remember in our structure of ethene, there was a double bond between the carbon atoms. But now the double bond has broken and created a bond, a third bond, where hydrogen atom has joined. Also on the next carbon atom, there is a bond created where the hydrogen atoms forms a covalent bond, and we form our structure of ethane. Now, this reaction is addition of hydrogen, and we call it hydrogenation. But since the hydrogen molecule is being added to the ethene molecule, this reaction we also call it addition reaction, because hydrogen molecule is being added to the structure of ethene. Now, let's look at how another reaction takes place by addition. We're playing it. We stop. Now, I'm taking it back slightly. Slightly, yes. Here we have got ethene reacting with hydrogen chloride gas. The green molecule, the green ball, shows chlorine. Chlorine is having a covalent bond with hydrogen. So that one is hydrogen chloride. So when that happens, we shall get another compound. Let's play it again slightly. Yes. Stop there, and we're stopping there, and I explain. Now, we had a structure of ethene which has a double bond, but now it is not there. So it has created two bonds on each carbon atoms, and the first one has got hydrogen, and then the first one has got hydrogen, and then the second one has got a carbon atom. And this compound, since it is having two carbon atoms, we call it ethane. But it has also got a chloride atom, therefore we call it chloroethane. What does it mean? It means a chloride atom joined to an ethane structure. Okay? So we can also play, and we see how it reacts with bromine. We are looking at this structure. This is bromine molecule Br2, but it is showing that two bromine atoms are joined by a covalent bond. So we play it. The two bromide atoms, which are shown by the brown ball, join the structure of ethene by covalently bonding to the carbon atoms. Now, What is the product? The product is given by the name 1,2-dibromoethane. What does that one mean? Di means 2. So we have 2 bromide atoms. And then 1, 2 shows you that this is first position, carbon 1 and carbon 2. But the whole structure is an alkane of 2 carbon atoms, which we call ethane. And therefore the structure is, that's why the structure is called 1,2-dibromoethane. Isn't this one wonderful? Because it cannot be directly, easily drawn on the board, but with this digital science, we can easily see the structure. We looked at the reaction of ethene with bromine. Sometimes it's called bromination. Now, when ethene is bubbled through bromine is a red liquid. Some people call it reddish brown. What happens? Let's play and see what happens. Very important. When ethene is bubbled through bromine solution, the reddish brown color is discharged and we get a colorless liquid. We are going to play it again. Yes, bromine solution is reddish brown, but at the end of the reaction, it becomes colorless. So that colorless solution is the one we are calling 1,2-dibromoethane. Let's check through the notes for emphasis. The ethene reacting with bromine yields dibromoethane. Now, this reaction helps us to distinguish between alkanes and alkenes. It is a test for unsaturation. What do we mean by unsaturation? Where a compound has got either double bonds or triple bonds. And this type of reaction, where a double bond breaks and adds 2 atoms, is known as addition reaction. This is a very important reaction which we must know because it will help us to distinguish between ethane and ethene. Now, having looked at this, the chemical reactions, we are going to look at the uses of ethene. Is it important? Why should we study about ethene? So we go to our next uses of alkenes. Let us first play it and complete, and then I explain. What is in the brackets here is a structure of ethene, and the N outside the bracket shows very many molecules, numerous molecules. So, when very many molecules of ethene are reacted 33 to 343, that is the temperature in Kelvin. Remember, you can convert from degrees Celsius to Kelvin by subtract, from here, if you want to get the Celsius scale, you subtract 373. And then 6 to 7 atmospheres, ATMS, refers to atmospheres. That is the pressure. Now, in the structure, let's understand the structure of the product and the structure of the reactant. They have the same number of carbon atoms, same number of hydrogen atoms, but the bonds are different. In ethene, we have a double bond. In polyethene, the double bond is broken, and we introduce another bond. But the bond breaks through the brackets, meaning it is continuous. This is the continuous structure of polyethene. Mind you, at home, some of you use polyethylene papers. This is the polyethene we are talking about. So, ethene undergoes a reaction called polymerization, and we form polyethene. What are we saying? We are saying that ethene is used in manufacture of polymers like polyethene. Now, my task to you is for you to go and research and get more uses of ethene apart from this. Your task as you go for your lesson is to state one industrial use of ethanol. Get your books and write this. State one industrial use of ethene, and also state one agricultural use of ethene. In our next lesson, I will receive your responses, which you can send to us to Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Thank you very much. Please remember to keep safe and stay home. But most importantly, get this software. If you don't have one, come to UMA Showground and come to Cyber School Technology Solutions and you get this installation.
Now we've come to the end of the lesson, but just to remind you, the software, Digital Science and Virtual Lab has over 6,326 videos. And what does that mean? It means that you as a student are going to have more interest in science subjects and math subjects, which will mean that you as a student will be able to pass these subjects with ease. We've come to the end of the show. Head over to Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and look for CSTSUG. Right there you will be able to have some conversation with us. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your viewing.